This is Lewis Hart from Into Boxing. Delighted today to be joined for the first time with Frank Smith. How are we?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're here for John Ryder, a massive fight for him with huge implications. What do you make of the fight?
Yeah, massive fight for him. Huge opportunity. There's a lot of talk about the winner of this getting Canelo. And I think it's the fight John's been looking for. He's coming off a good win against Danny Jacobs earlier in the year, and a massive opportunity here on Saturday night. And looking forward to it.
I did just speak to John earlier about it being the WBO interim, but it isn't too sure about whether Canelo's going to stay or not. If Canelo does stay or if he doesn't stay, for John there is still huge fights out there at 168.
Yeah, 100%. Massive fights out there, massive opportunities. I think I was saying earlier, you kind of forget with John how long he's been around for and his experience in the pro game and the fights he's had. What was it, 6-7 years ago, or 5-6-7 years ago when he fought Billy Joe Saunders? He's been in there in big fights and he's not going to be fazed by this. And, comes out of this is a big opportunity. It's a big opportunity for both guys. But I believe John's got the experience. He's going to go in there and do the job.
I did ask John the question as well. Do you feel like now, after beating Danny Jacobs, been on the end of a few questionable decisions, some close fights, do you feel like he's gone through Danny Jacobs? If he does get through Zach Parker as well, he'll finally start getting the respect he kind of deserves?
Yeah, I think he's respected by the boxing fans especially. I think it's then the casual audience once he comes through this. His performance against Callum Smith as well. He's been in there in big fights time and time again and showed his level. I think he's going to show that again on Saturday night. I think he's going to come out with a win and, like you say, move on to the big fights after this. Massive names, if not Canelo, to go on and go off and take on.
On a matchroom front this weekend, we've got Whyte versus Jermaine Franklin. Absolutely stacked card from top to bottom with some unbelievable fights, domestic 50-50s. Yeah, your thoughts on that card?
Yeah, look, great card, stacked from top to bottom. You got Jermaine Franklin taking on Whyte, come back from his loss against Tyson Fury, and not an easy fight as well. Jermaine Franklin's coming in there to win. I think he's 21-0. He believes he can go in there and do the job. So tough fight for Whyte. Fabio Wardley against Nathan Gorman for the British title is a great fight as well. Massive heavyweight fight, and whoever wins that steps on from there into bigger fights. Craig Richards against Bolotniks. That'll be a real tear up. Sandy Ryan's back. Pat McCormack, Mark Dickinson's debut on matchroom shows. Chev Clark's back out. George Liddard with his professional debut. So yeah, stacked top to bottom, and looking forward to that. Big show on Saturday.
Are we looking at a potential opponent for AJ on this weekend with Whyte or Jermaine Franklin?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, that's something that's been spoken about. I think let's see how the fight goes on Saturday. All depends on that, and then go from there. AJ's obviously back out end of March, early April, and we're working through what's right for him. But yeah, let's see how the fight goes on Saturday. It could be a big Whyte win. If Jermaine Franklin upset the odds, could it be a rematch? There's lots of opportunities and lots of way it could go, but definitely something we're thinking about for sure.
No disrespect to Whyte here, but do you feel like it's now or never for him now, with potential world title opportunities? Came up short, with no disrespect to losing to Tyson Fury. With no disrespect to Tyson Fury, to lose to Tyson Fury, there's no shame in that. But do you feel like now, it's his last? Is it what potentially could be a final run for him?
Look, I think he's got to get the win in this fight. Obviously, that's what he needs to do. That's what he's fully focused on. But there's big opportunities regardless of what happens. The heavyweight division, there's always fights to be made, always big fights to be made. So let's see. But he's fully committed, focused on getting a win on Saturday.
And just to finish off, coming towards the end for this year for Matchroom, how would you assess 2022 as Matchroom's gone overall? How would you assess it?
Look, I think we've had some massive nights. When you look at the shows all around the world, I think something like 35 shows in 10 different countries. Whether it's Canelo Bivol, Canelo Golovkin, Bivol Ramirez, Wood Conlon, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. It's been a stacked year, and I'm sure we're going to continue to do the same.
Frank, really appreciate your time. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you.